The next topic is chemiosmotic hypothesis, or we call it as chemiosmosis. This process is related to osmosis, that is, the diffusion of water across a membrane, which is called chemiosmosis. It also allows protons to pass through the membrane. So let's see how the water crosses across the membrane and what is the process of this chemiosmotic theory. Here we will understand how actually ATP is synthesized in the chloroplast. Okay, in cyclic and non-cyclic phosphorylation, we have seen that how ATP is produced, and now we can clearly see how it is synthesized in the chloroplast. Let's look at how the structure in which this process is taking place. In the chloroplast, there are thylakoids. If you look at the structure, we take as outer thylakoid membrane and another one is inner membrane. So in the space, inside space, we call it as lumen. Okay, and inside of the inner membrane of the thylakoid, there is a part where water molecules are being splitted, that is, photolysis of water takes place. So on the inner membrane of the thylakoid, there is a complex for splitting of water, that is photolysis, and on the outer membrane there is NADP reductase. Okay, so all this is a thylakoid, and surrounding this there is stroma. The part that is surrounding these thylakoids is stroma. We know that there are two photosystems, photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, and in non-cyclic photophosphorylation it starts with photosystem 2, and let's see here also, and the photosystem 2, here it absorbs light energy and then it loses 2 electrons. These electrons gets excited and to a primary electron acceptor, and from there, from the higher energy, it passes down to 3 electron acceptors. Okay, and then it passes to photosystem 1. We have seen this in non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So the 3 electron acceptors are plastoquinone, cytochrome complex and plastocyanin. Here near the cytochrome complex, as the pair of electrons is passing to the photosystem 1, it gets energy and then it receives a pair of protons from the stroma. So what cytochrome complex is doing here is it is transporting a pair of electrons and it is accepting a pair of protons. So it is also called, the cytochrome is also called as electron transporter as well as electron acceptor. Okay, it is accepting a proton from the stroma and it is transporting the pair of electrons that which is got from the photosystem 2. It is transporting to photosystem 1. The proton that is accepted from the stroma by cytochrome is pumped into the lumen. Okay, so as photosystem 2 loses a pair of electrons, then it passes through the cytochrome, and to the photosystem 1 it loses a pair of electrons. So this pair of electrons must be replaced. This pair of electrons is replaced by photolysis of water. So splitting of water takes place in the lumen. There is a complex for the splitting of water on the inner membrane. Okay, so in the lumen the water is getting splitted into a pair of electrons, a pair of protons, and an oxygen which is passed through the stroma and it is used as a byproduct. Okay, this oxygen is being synthesized in the lumen. Okay, so water is splitting where two electrons are being transported to photosystem. 2 oxygen is oxygen comes out as a byproduct. Okay, and now there remains two protons. So in the lumen there are two protons. Okay, two pairs of protons. One is from the splitting of water, that is plasmolysis, photolysis. I'm sorry, it is photolysis. Photolysis of water, a proton is evolved, and then from cytochrome pumps a proton, a pair of proton from the stroma into the lumen. So there are two pairs of protons in the lumen. So lumen is having high concentration of protons, and outside the lumen, that is in the stroma, there are protons. So, and inside the lumen there are more protons where the concentration in the lumen is high. So the protons in the lumen tends to come out into the stroma because there is a high concentration in the lumen and there is low concentration in the stroma. So these protons that are in the lumen tends to come out. So how they come is through the proteins. So there are two types of proteins. One is F0, which is embedded in the plasma membrane, and the another one is F1, which is extrinsic, which protrudes out of the membrane, that is into the stroma. So there is protein called F0 and a protein called F1. So here in F1 has an ATPase enzyme. So here F1 acts as an enzyme for the synthesis of ATP. So the protons that are present in the lumen needs to come to the stroma. So how they come is through these proteins F0 and F1. These are acting as channels for moving the protons that are in the lumen to the stroma. So only through these proteins the protons that are in the lumen are passed through the stroma. So when the protons that are in the lumen are being transported through the protein channels, they get charged, they have some energy, and that energy is used by F1, that is ATPase, and this energy is used to add an inorganic phosphate to ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate, and then ATP is synthesized, adenosine triphosphate, and then the protons are being passed through the stroma. So in the stroma we have the protons that are being passed from the lumen. Okay, and along with those which are passed from the lumen, there are also some other protons. Okay, now we got ATP. So on the outer membrane we have NADP reductase. So this NADP reductase has to be replaced by a proton. So from photosystem 2, a proton is being an electron pair is being transported to photosystem 1 and to the NADP. So, and in the stroma there is a pair of electrons. These electrons will be added to NADP, and with the help of NADP reductase it forms as NADPH2. So ATP is being synthesized and also NADPH2 is also synthesized. So in the photosynthesis we know that there are two reactions that will take place. One is light reaction and the another one is dark reaction. In the light reaction we have discussed all this, and for the dark reaction it takes place in stroma, and in further stroma for the dark reaction to takes place a NADPH2, ATP and also carbon dioxide is also required for the dark reaction to take place. So all these reactions, the ATP being synthesized and NADPH2, all these is which come under the chemiosmotic theory, or we call it as chemiosmotic hypothesis, because it is taking place by the diffusion. Okay, so we called it as chemiosmotic theory. The important points that have to be remembered in this is, it is the site of splitting of water that took place in the inner membrane of the thylakoid where plasmolysis occurred, and the another one is, it is a site where NADP reduction takes place, and third one is, it is where oxygen is produced in the lumen, and in the stroma ATP and NADPH2 is produced. And one more important point to note here is the cytochrome. Cytochrome is as it is a primary, it's not only an electron acceptor but mainly it is a electron transporter, where it transports the electrons from photosystem 2 to photosystem 1, and it also accepts electrons from the stroma. So we call this cytochrome as an electron acceptor as well as electron transporter. So this is the exact process where ATP is synthesized in photophosphorylation.